was asked if I would say a few words and MC this a little bit, and I'm honored to do that. And with us too is the current city manager, David Wiegand. We have the mayor here. I think Dennis Porter's here, and the mayor that was here when this all happened, Terry Walton. I am. And kind of how this, just to give a brief little history, and if I get it wrong, Linda, correct me. Is that
hey.
So anyway, so we were talking one day, and Linda had this idea. Her husband was going away again to war, and if anybody doesn't know, Robert's been to the theater of war 3 times in the Mideast. I think twice to Iraq, once to Afghanistan, and come back safely 3 times. And the
Yay.
third one's a charm because Robert's going to retire, I think, after this. So anyway, what happened? We were talking about honoring. I read an article. Linda had an idea, and we talked about it. The city staff up in the office, we talked about it. We thought this would be a great idea. We researched it, and Linda was a driving force behind it, and kept reminding us. And so we put together an idea, kind of what we wanted on the flags. We actually asked input. And what the flags are for, anybody that's a citizen of Rockaway Beach that goes to a war zone is honored by putting their name up here on a yellow flag to remind everybody that they're there defending us and doing things for us so we can be here today. And we had up, I think, 3 people at one time, and then when they come home, they will be presented the flag. And we worked with the city council and Mayor Walhood at the time. They put together a resolution, passed a resolution authorizing this, and I believe Robert was the first one up. And so he's the first one. I don't know if you're the first one down. You may be.
No, Trevor was the first one down.
Okay. And but we're here today to honor Robert and all the servicemen and women that put their lives on the line every day for us. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to have the people that actually, I believe, put the flag up originally, our fire chief, Barry Romano, and our old public works director, Sean Vincent, who's the assistant fire chief. Well, he's not really old.
Well, you could ask him which birthday he's having next. Yeah. No, it's like.
And so we're going to ask them to take it down, and then we'll present it to Robert.
Julie going back up.
And for everybody here, what the flag says, it has his name. What's SSG stand for?
At the time, it was staff sergeant.
Now what are you?
First class.
Is that higher?
Yeah.
Okay. Robert G. Bennett, Iraq 2005 to 2006, Iraq 2007, 2008, Afghanistan 2010, 2011. Woo-hoo! Woo!
It's a little beat up.
And before we actually present this to Robert, I thought it would be appropriate to have the past mayor that was here when this was instituted to say a few words, and then the current mayor that's the current mayor of Rockaway Beach to say something. Mayor?
Well, thank you. And Robert, I'm so glad you're home. And I wanted to mention that on July 4th is when we raised your flag last year, and family, friends, all of the volunteer fire department, I think, were here. And just as Linda got the flag raised and anchored, all of the emergency personnel's pink went off, and it was just like, boom, everybody was gone. Linda said that you certainly understand. And there's been a lot of prayers said.
And now, Dennis, if you want to come up and say a few words.
Vietnam, I was spit upon, I was called a baby killer, and all these other kinds of things. And I haven't worn this beret since 1964. In honor of this activity, I put the beret back on. And I'm looking at some of your badges there, and I'm seeing senior parachuters, which is impressive, because I never got to that point. But Military Service Medal for those people who aren't familiar with what he's wearing. And he's looking at 5 awards of the Army Commendation Medal. So you have your tour of duty.
I was going to ask Linda, but it looks like she's busy, but I think it's really appropriate that the current city manager actually presents it to Robert.
That's okay. Oh, you want to do that?
No, I cried when this stuff happened. I couldn't say anything when it went up either.
So, you know, we're very honored to have Robert back, and Linda's very happy. And so this is a nice outcome to everything. And I'm not quite sure if there's anybody else that would like to say anything, a few words.
You know,
Barry, you're always the
Cliff,
man of-
it might be worth mentioning that the flag that's still flying is your stepdaughter.
Julie.
Oh, Julie's up there.
Yeah, still family. We still have family over there.
And just to remind everybody, if you know anybody that is from Rockaway Beach that's in the armed forces that gets deployed to a war zone, certainly let City Hall know so a flag can be made and a flag raised in their honor while they're away. Because it's really an honor for them, it's an honor for the city, and I think it's our duty to put this up here and remind ourselves that we have the men and women out there on the front lines taking care of us. So, with that, yay! Okay.